I am Bumike Monani, and today I am so delighted to be doing this video for you. As it goes live, it is the 25th of July, and 25 years ago on this day I was born. Oh yes, it is my 25th birthday, and I'm so happy that on this day I get to share my story with you of how God gave me my job as a birthday gift. Now you may be asking, what is that about? Every year I ask God to give me a gift on my birthday, and here's why. For those of you who don't already know, I was raised by single parents. I was raised by a single mother because when I was only 9 months old, my father abandoned my family. And so all my life I've only known the love of a mother, and so I decided to make God not only my heavenly father but my biological father too. And like any daughter would ask their father, I always ask God to give me a gift on my birthday. And so 2017, 2 years ago, I said to God, I would like for you to give me a gift this year, and the gift that I'd like from you is a job, because firstly I'm not happy where I am, and I believe that I'm created for more and there's more I can do with my life, so please give me a job. And as you watch this, you are hearing a story of how an answered prayer changed one person's life, and I pray that my story changes your life too. The premise of the story is based on a verse that is found in Matthew 7 verse 7. It says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open for you. Here's what I've come to learn. When you ask, God grants you access. When you seek, He gives you success. And when you knock, He exposes you to knowledge. I hope all throughout this video you will get the themes of asking for access, seeking for success, and knocking for knowledge. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get into it. Alright, let's get into today's story. But before we do, you guys, it would be so wrong of me to not thank and welcome each and every new subscriber to this channel. You guys, it means so much to me that you believe I've actually got a message to share with you that will grow you. I have to be honest with you, as I saw the numbers keep rising in the duration of the week, I said to God, are you sure you trust me with your children? And He sends me to Psalm 91 verse 1 that says, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And when I inquired about this means, because I was like, what will I say to them? What if I lead them astray? He said to me, make sure that you are dwelling in my secret place, because in my secret place you will be fed, you will be educated, and you will grow. And so I run no risk of leading you astray as long as I'm dwelling in the secret place of the Most High. It says you will abide in my shadow, means you stay in that shadow, you don't move from that shadow. So wherever God turns, I will be turning with Him, and wherever He leads, I will go. So my aim is to really just stay in the secret place of God, so I know where to lead you and what to say to you. Okay, if you watched last week's video, you know that in the very beginning of my career, I said no to a job that I did not want because of how I would be treated, and I felt like I would be exploited. You also know that when I gave that job up, I gave myself capacity to receive a job that I had initially wanted as I was in my degree. And so the job came, a consulting job came. But also in that job, I just felt like there's got to be more. There's got to be more. And with everything that was going on, I prayed and I asked God for a job. So literally in that year 2017, I said to God, Lord, please give me a job for my birthday. I would really like a job. And so here's how it all begins. So I'm going to take you through 3 stages of just the journey to how I landed my banking role. So the first one was a telephonic interview. So after the notification via email, I got a call from the bank, from someone in the bank saying, hey, hello, congrats, your application was successful, you actually qualify for a telephonic interview, the first round of interviews. And so I was like, yay, thank you. And so he just said, no, look, prepare well, don't be scared, it's just us trying to get to know you, let's set a date. So we set a date, and that was that. So just randomly, a guy that I went to university with, Ikamalaki, his name is Utulani Malambule, texts me and says, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, no, it's going all right. It's just I've applied for another job, and so I've gone through to the first round of interviews. And he says, oh, which bank? And I tell him ABSA. He says, oh, I actually know someone who we actually went to school with that works there. Do you want me to hook you up? And I'm like, oh, you an angel, you were heaven sent. And so he hooks me up with the Bobo, and I'm like, Bobo, what do I need for that interview? And he just says, look, read up on things that are happening in the finance space and the news. Just keep abreast. That's what they really want to know. I kind of listened to him and kind of didn't listen to him. So what I did was, remember last week I gave you guys a plug. I told you about lynda.com, an online course platform. Before I even continue, guys, if you are not taking courses online, you are sleeping on treasure. I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on online courses. You guys, I went to nobody's university for what I learned on lynda.com. I listened to nobody's lecturer. I just listened to a guy who had immense knowledge about finance and just accounting. And I listened to that, and it prepped me so well for my interview. So if you're not into online courses, you better be, because it saves you so much time. You do it in the comfort of your home or on your journey wherever you are. It saves you so much money because you don't have to spend exorbitant amounts on tertiary education. And listen to me, I am not discrediting tertiary education. I believe in its value so much. I'm a product of tertiary education, but online courses, don't sleep on those things. So lynda.com, I go to lynda.com and I type there finance, accounting, anything, help me, and I see an array of courses, and I'm like, yo, I'd actually like to learn some accounting matrix. I'd just like to know some finance information, everything. So I took those courses in between working and in between the job that I was doing. I was preparing for this interview, so I watched the online courses on finance and accounting and things like that to prepare myself for that, because I was interviewing with a bank, even though I'm an engineer. And so another thing that I did, I read up on the company. So I read up on the company, its purpose, its strategy, its values. And I think this is so important, because when you get interviewed, the company is not only asking you, oh, so what is our value? No, what they're actually trying to establish is knowing that value. How well do you embody what that value means to us as a company? Does it mean anything to you? And I'm not just saying this as somebody who has been interviewed by the bank, but also as somebody who has sat in a panel that interviews candidates for the graduate program. And so I read up on the company, and I did a bit of listening to the news, reading newspapers and things like that, just so that I know what's happening in the economy, in the industry. And so the first interview came, I got a call, and lo and behold, they asked me, tell us about yourself. Now this question trips a lot of people up. When the company asks, tell us about yourself, they're literally asking you to tell them about yourself outside of academics. You guys have already gone through your marks and the subjects and how much you passed. They don't really care about that at this age. In fact, they will ask you some more academic questions as the interview progresses. They really want to know, what do you do for fun? Are you involved in any charity work? Do you do any sports? How do you interact and relate with your friends and your family? Are you into any church activities? They literally want to know you as a person. Do you sing for a choir? Do you play hockey on the weekends? When they say, tell us about yourself, tell them about yourself outside of school. They also want to know that you have a balanced life, and you won't just be this workaholic who doesn't have a life, who is not balanced in life. Okay, so I told them about myself. Another thing that I want you guys to do if you're interviewing, something you need to be very conscious of, is tell them about situations that have happened in your life that have grown your character, that have made you stronger, that have proved something about you. Because I also want to know that you're perceptive, that you're reflective, that you actually take things as they come, but you don't let them leave you battered and like completely bewildered. Okay, so they asked me about myself, and then they asked me about the company. So I told them what the purpose of the company is, the values of the company, and where I see the company going based on the stuff that I read. And then they asked me they asked me about anything that I had heard in the news so far. And I was just like, like I didn't know what to say. And I had heard that morning at work that our company had been featured in a news article, and I tried to use that and they asked me for details and I didn't know the details. Ooh, it was such a mess. Anyway, they also asked me, tell us how you would check if a company is in good health financially. And the online courses came into play. I told them, look at this matrix, like your gearing ratio, your cost to income, assets to liabilities. Hey guys, I was putting them out like this. So online courses, guys, invest in those things. Anyway, I was putting it out like this. But there was one question they asked me about, I think, the industry. And I think you guys, I didn't know it, but I want you to know it, so do better. You also need to check the industry that the company you're interviewing for is in. Check what trends are in that industry, where the industry is going, the threats to that industry, the challenges that the industry is facing, because they want to know then where you place yourself and where you see the company going if you know the trends in the industry. So please do better. Don't be like me. I couldn't answer that question well. I couldn't answer the question of a story in the news well. And so at the end of that conversation, I hung up and I just felt so horrible. I was just like, oh Lord, there I go again, blowing an incredible opportunity up. And just then the Holy Spirit got a hold of me and was like, you are not going to practice that lazy faith. What do you want? And I said, I'd like this job. And the Holy Spirit said, then acknowledge that you've done wrong, but ask for what you want. And I said, actually, you're right. This is lazy faith. Yes, I've messed this up, but actually if I progress to the next level, I will know that this was you and not me. So please pardon the mess that I made and the things that I could have done that I didn't do. Pardon that, Lord, but also cover me. Extend your grace to me so that I can actually be so I can actually advance and we progress to the next level of this interview process. And I let it go. So my prayer would just be, not me but you. And God came through. I got called and they were like, hey, you're through to the second round. I said, yes, thank you that I did not exercise lazy faith. That said, I blew it up and I know the consequences of blowing things up. I exercised a strong and determined faith. And so the second round of interviews was psychometrics. Now these want to know just your cognitive reasoning. So they'll give you patterns and sequences that you need to follow. They also test your verbal ability, numeric ability, and because I was interviewing for a bank, they asked a lot of financial things as well. So this went okay. Like, I don't know if you can go through these psychometric tests and feel like, yes, I nailed it. They're just weird in their nature. Sometimes you get low scoring and you make it. Sometimes you get high. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I went through that. And so when I went through that, I then waited for the next step. And the next step was phase 3 of 3 in this interview process. Now, stage 3 of the interview process is what they call the assessment center. I had never heard of an assessment center before. And so what I did is I went to Auntie Google. Google told me that there will be a presentation that I'll need to make from a case study they would have given me. Auntie Google told me that there would be a group discussion that is assessed, and also that there would be an interview panel. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went through all the things, so I checked what the presentation needs to be structured like. I looked at what is really assessed in the group discussion and the kind of questions that would be asked in the panel interview. Okay, so we got notification from the bank that they would be sending each of us to the Maslow Hotel in Sandton, a beautiful hotel in Sandton. So I was really excited, and I think it was over a Thursday and a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So I left Centurion early Thursday to get to Sandton for the interview. And so when I got to the Maslow Hotel, I just took pictures and I was like, Lord, is this really my life? Is this where we are? Is this what we do now? I I was so pleased. We met then in the evening and they told us that nearly 10,000 people applied for the graduate program. There were less than, I think there were less than 100 of us in the room, and they said they're only like, they're only going to take, I think 25, but it was literally like way less than the people that were in the room. So tension started rising. People got anxious about, oh my goodness, am I even going to be in that number? I said to God, I wasn't anxious about anything. I said to God, Lord, I would like to be in that number. And so they gave us these papers which had the case study for us to go through in the evening, so that tomorrow morning we can all be ready to present. So I get to my room, yeah, we've had dinner, a beautiful dinner, we've greeted everyone who's there, and I get to my room. When I get to my room, I take out my laptop and I open it and I whatever, just set it up. Then I realize, oh no, my laptop doesn't want to connect to the Wi-Fi. So I start panicking and I say, I need to do research. Oh my goodness, with this laptop I need to do research. Did not want to connect to the Wi-Fi. I called some hotel staff, actually went to the reception, spoke to some not HR staff, I'm so sorry, hotel staff, for them to help me with the Wi-Fi. They're like, yo, we can't help you, it doesn't want to connect. I spoke to some of the grads that were there as well to say, guys, please help me. My laptop wouldn't connect. I said, Joe, okay, let me try my phone. I look at my phone, guys, I have such a bad tendency of not charging my phone. I look at my phone, low battery, it's like in the orange red zone. I look for my charger. I didn't have my charger, so my laptop doesn't want to connect. My phone is low battery. I literally have no means of doing research for the presentation. I start to panic. Like, I really start to panic, and I say to God, also, I'm so tired. My eyes are red, they're just very sandy. I'm tired, I just want to sleep, and nothing is working. Should I take a nap? And I was debating, oh, what should I do? So they had formed a WhatsApp group, right? The talent people who were taking care of us during that period had started a WhatsApp group. So I sent on the WhatsApp group to say, guys, my phone is dying, please can somebody borrow me a charger? This girl said, yeah, I don't mind borrowing your charger. And then we met, she gave me her charger. I said to her, thank you so much. I went up to charge my phone on my laptop. It was so slow, and it just kept jamming. Is that the right word? It was very slow to process information. Oh, it was such a mess. It was getting super late. I needed to rest for my mom to be sharp the next day, but it just felt like the devil was like yeah. He didn't want me to succeed, but I did. And so okay, then it was the next day. Can I tell you what I was doing as I was preparing? I was also listening to every news channel on the TV. I was watching and listening, just switching between the news channels to find out what's happening in the world, what's happening locally, in the economy, finance. Ooh, I was such a mess. Ooh, Maslow, I must go to Maslow again, and just for leisure, to chill at Maslow, because that time, oh, it was a mess. Anyway, the day, okay, I was tired. I did what I could and I prepared my presentation properly, so I went to bed. I woke up the next day in a gorgeous black and white dress. You guys, that dress was so beautiful. I was like, yes. I fixed my hair up in a puff, my natural hair in a puff, put on my stocking, put on my nice heel. I was ready. I said, Lord, finish what you have started. Finish what you have started. Got out, went to breakfast, and then we checked our names and the schedules for the day. So the first thing I did was a presentation. So I presented to, I think it was 2 or 3 people in there. One was HR. I didn't know what the other 2 people were there as. So I did my presentation, and in the presentation there was this old Indian man that was staring at me with no expression on his face. He was barely blinking his eyes, just staring at me as I presented. I was like, yo, am I even saying the right thing, Jay? What's happening here? Turns out, when I actually get the job, that this old Indian man was my manager. He became my manager. How nice. Anyway, he was very scary. Okay, so I went through that and I was like, okay, I don't know how it went. because also that man was staring at me like, girl, get out of here, bye. Okay, and then the next thing was a group discussion. Now remember, I had prepared for this assessment center group discussion, so I think it was like 6 or 7 of us in the group. We all sat. The people who were judging us or who were just monitoring us were on the side of the room. So I get there and I say to them, okay guys, this is how this is going to go. We have got these number of questions and this amount of time. We're going to divide the questions by giving them time allocations. Is that okay with everyone? Yes, that's okay. We're going to need a timekeeper to just keep us in check. Who will do that? Somebody else said, and I said, okay, cool. We're going to need a scribe to make sure that we capture everything that we will be discussing. I don't mind being the scribe. Okay, we're going to need someone who's going to lead the conversation, and we'll just all chip in. Who's going to do that? Who's going to be our chairperson? And then we appointed somebody for that. This was all me. Can I tell you that a lady called Bridget, who we work with, who's a part of talent, stood up from where they were sitting, walked to where we were in my group, and came to check my name tag to say, who is this girl? I was like, yes. So she went back to sit, and then we started. So we had our timekeeper, and I'm like, okay, cool. So the chair headed the meeting, and I was there just challenging the stuff people were saying, adding to them and saying, okay guys, so before I put this point down, is this what we agreed to? Is this what we mean? Okay, cool. Like this. They were testing for leadership, proactivity, working in a team, and your girl was here. I was here. Anyway, that went incredibly well. I was so happy with that. The last thing was the panel interview. I was more nervous about this because I really didn't know what they were going to ask. I was so nervous. So because I'm a mining engineer, I thought that I would get in there and they would say, oh, as a mining engineer, what's happening in the mining world? What's the economics around the mining space? What financial implications are there in the space? So I was there just trying to research everything about mining. Oh, I was frantic. I was just doing it frantically. I didn't want anyone around me. I sat by myself close to reception, and this one girl who I actually attended a targeting talent program, short for TTP, which was actually just a 3-year program for university readiness that I did between grade 10 and grade 12. Pumut was her name. She came to me and was like, hey girl, why are you sitting here alone? Everyone else is on that side. Don't you want to go? And I just resigned because also it was just so overwhelming, the research I was doing, and nothing was coming through. It was like cramming for an exam just before writing. So I walked with her and we went to the other side. When I say God orchestrated everything with this thing, the steps, the moves, the people, everything. So I get there and I overhear a conversation. So these other grads are talking and they're just laughing at how their panel interviews have gone. So this one girl is like, yo, when they asked me about Snapchat, I didn't know what to say. And this other one says, whoa, when they asked me about Bitcoin, wow. So I haven't had my interview, but I find myself in this space. What did your girl do? Snapchat. And I found on the news about Snapchat. Oh, thanks. And then Bitcoin, what's happening? Literally, I was getting nuggets and tidbits from the stuff they were saying. And then one lady, I think she's also in talents, came, I think her name is Stacy. No, it's not Stacy. I forgot her name. She came to say, Nampumelelo, and I was like, yes. And she said, come through for your interview. And I get there and I'm a bit nervous. And she said, no, don't be nervous, relax. So then they asked me about why, as an engineer, I want to work in the bank. They asked me just about the threats in the industry, and at this point I had researched them. Another thing then that they asked me was now this general, not really general, but financial economic questions. So they said, do you know Snapchat? And I said, oh yeah, the social media network, I know Snapchat. They said, oh, what have you heard about Snapchats in the news? And in my heart I'm like, in the news, nothing. But outside, I heard everything. So I said to them, what I know about Snapchats is that their share price has gone low. It's lower than their IPO. So they're like, oh, fancy. Why? So I said, why? I didn't read that deep. Anyway, I said to them, please give me time. Let me find my bearings. Let me actually think about it. So I think, and I hear the Holy Spirit say, competition. That is Jesus. I said, oh, because of competition. Because we know Snapchat to be the social media platform that is specializing in live videos, live photos, and all of those things. Now Instagram is into that. Facebook does that. WhatsApp does that through statuses and things like that. So yeah, that's why their share price is low, because of competition. They're like, oh, cool. So firstly, they were impressed because I gave myself time to think, or asked them for time to think, but they're also impressed because I gave them the answer. Then they asked me about Bitcoin. I can't remember what the question was, but I responded about Bitcoin. And that was that. I walked out of that interview feeling good. I packed my clothes and I left the Maslow Hotel. And when I left, I said, Lord, it's in your hands. It's in your hands. And I left. So when I left there, I said, okay, Jesus, I have already asked you for a gift on my birthday, and this year, may you please give me this job. And I left it at that. 25 July came, and I was away from work because I don't like going to work on my birthday. And a call never came, and I was a bit, okay. The next day I went to work and I received a call. So I say, yo, I don't know this number. I pick up and the lady's like, hey, it's Nompumelelo. I say, yes it is. And she says to me, well, it's Lenore. It's Lenore from ABSA. I say to her, hey, a bit nervous, a bit excited. And she says, guess what, you got the job. I was so happy. I was so happy. And I say to her, this is the best news this year, because I had actually asked God to gift me with a job for my birthday, and my birthday was yesterday, but I'm only getting the gift today. And she said, oh, happy belated, well, here's your gift, enjoy. And I was so happy, and I thanked God. Fast forward, we're now 25 July 2019, and I'm a year and some months, a couple of months into the job, and I work as an analyst, as a transactional banking analyst, and a product development specialist, still in product innovation and the cash management, which is basically an extension of transactional banking. Yes, it is 2 roles, but let me tell you guys, I'm having the time of my life. Actually, what I haven't told you is that 8 months into the company, I got 3 offers. I got 3 offers that were essentially all promotions. They came to ask me from my boss, and I made a decision for one of them because it's one that resonated with me. I was very clear on where I want to go and what I want to do. And shortly after I made that decision, our region got a new head. And when she came in, she was fighting, she still is fighting tooth and nail to say, you are not leaving my team. I value you as an asset. You are not leaving the team. She is fighting tooth and nail to keep me in her team. So I'm like, where do I go? Of course, it's lovely to be fought for. It's lovely to know that you're adding so much value that a boss, a regional head wants to get you back from the team that you were poached into. And so what really helped is that I am clear on my purpose. I know what I'm called to do on this earth, and I know how to apply it in corporate and the rest of the spaces that I occupy. Get clear on your purpose. I'm having the time of my life. I work with other specialists on my team to develop strategies and plans around their portfolios and how we can keep the traction going and how we can earn more revenue. I love it so much. In fact, when I sit with the specialist, I just enable them as well to work on client plans. You guys, let me tell you, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in coordinates. So I don't believe that coincidentally this and that happened. Last year, 1st of July, ABSA rebranded, and the new purpose for the brand was bringing your possibilities to life. I saw this as such coordinates because God revealed to me that my purpose is to help others operate in their purpose, find their purpose and operate in it. And I was like, this is no coincidence. This company is exactly where I was supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be for this season of my life. I literally walk into the doors of our company saying, I'm about to bring my possibilities to life. When I work with the specialists on my team, I say to them, how can you bring your possibilities to life? And we literally work on strategies on how they can bring possibilities to life for their own careers, but also for their portfolios. When I work in the product development space, the question I always seek to answer is, how can, with what we're doing now with these client plans and the work that we're doing, how can we bring the client's possibilities to life? Also, when I just look at my company, the company that I work for, I always say this company is bringing my possibilities to life and the platforms it's given me to grow, but to also do things around just professionally, personally, financially. It's all about bringing possibilities to life, and this only makes sense to me, and it's working so well because I have gotten clear on my purpose. The best way to derive joy and fulfillment in the things you do is to get clear on your purpose. That's the only way you're going to make it. And when you get clear on your purpose, to develop strategies around how to operate that purpose. You guys, I'm having the time of my life, and I wish the same for you. Actually, what I wanted to do as well is to just state the value of engineers in the banking space, but I'm afraid that this video has already gone over the time I normally want these videos to go to. So here's what we're going to do. Next week, Wednesday, I will be on holiday to celebrate my birthday. I'll be out of the country, but I won't be out of social media and out of touch. So what I'm planning to do is that next Wednesday evening, I want to go on an Instagram live and answer any career related questions you might have. So here's how you can help me. In the comment section of this video, I want you to send me a career related question that you want me to answer in that live. But also, once you've gone through those questions, I will answer questions as they come in the live. Any career related questions, whether you are transitioning, whether you want to progress, whether you want to be clear on what your purpose is and execute that in corporate. Ask me any question that you would like. The comment section is an open canvas. It's a clean canvas for you to send those questions in. If you feel a bit insecure about your question being read publicly, send me an email at info@mbumikmbonani.com. Next week, Wednesday, we're going on an Instagram live. I'm answering all your career related questions. Okay, guys, this is my story. I hope it has inspired you to get clear on your purpose and to know what you want and what you're supposed to do, because that is the only way you are going to thrive in any career that you do. So from my camera to your screen, straight to your heart, much love. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you in next week's Instagram live. Bye.